guys, it's Nikki in Nashville, back day 2, CRS Fest in Nashville, Tennessee, with the first chat of the day, Mr. Garrett Bradford.
Thank you for having me, Nikki. I'm excited.
Oh, I'm so excited. Yesterday was a warm-up, today's game time, huh?
That's right. I got warmed up, and now I'm ready for Nikki, my highlight interview.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. I love all your music. We're fully caffeinated. We're going to get going. We're getting right into the music.
You were not caffeinated when I saw you coming up the escalator earlier.
It happened.
You were moving slow.
I was. I took like 3 espresso shots to the dome.
Oh, you're good then.
We just went, woo,
you'll be rolling till dinner.
Then there's going to be a massive crash, but it's okay because we've got the Decades party tonight, so we're going to rock and roll.
Yeah, you can rock with that.
So is this your first CRS? Or
first CRS, yes it is, and I was blown away at how much goes on here. I was not expecting it to be this big. I mean, I knew it was going to be big, but golly, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. There's a ton of people, lots to go talk about, lots of people to talk to.
Yeah.
But we're going to get right into the music. So, recent single, Bad Girl Good.
Yes, ma'am.
I remember putting that on the new playlist just last week.
Heck yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that marks your 3rd single already this year.
Yep, that's my 3rd single off of the album that comes out tomorrow. My first album that I've ever put out, which I don't know when this will air, but it'll be out February 21st.
Okay.
So, and then it's a 2-part album, but I split up the releases, so the second part will come out April 11th.
Okay.
I'm kind of excited to have an actual album, you know?
Oh, heck yeah.
Makes me feel like an actual serious artist.
And we're releasing it tomorrow.
Yes.
That's huge.
I'm excited. It's a really great time to do it, too, like in the middle of CRS.
Honkiest of Tonkers, right?
Honkiest of Tonkers, yes, ma'am.
So we can expect some honky tonk vibes on this, I'm assuming?
You can absolutely expect honky tonk vibes galore.
Galore.
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
and you said 2-part album, so we're doing what, like 12 and 12, 13, 13?
No, it's 9 and 10.
9 and 10.
Yeah, so there's 19 total.
I
was going to have more songs, but then I ended up cutting a few off of there. I was just like, because I wanted to... Some of them I wanted to save because I wanted to have a few songs to release, like some singles to release around May.
Okay, yeah.
So I want to keep putting music out all year.
Keep up that momentum the entire year.
100%.
Yeah, I love hearing that. Well, I want to talk about this most recent single too. So is that, I really like the hook, like the twist, treating a bad girl good, right? Okay, that's really cool. So is this from personal experience?
Oh boy, I hate to admit it, but I have treated a bad girl good a couple of times.
You don't have to hate to admit it.
No, but yes, kind of, and also it was kind of like most of the songs about somebody doing wrong are about the guy doing wrong.
Right.
And I was just thinking one day, I was listening, and I was like, there's not very many songs ever about a girl being
the bad one.
And some of them are bad. Most of them aren't, but some of them are.
That's so true.
And I knew some guys would be able to relate, so.
I hear you. That's really true, actually. Not a lot of people write about us being the bad ones, right?
I know.
It's just like always the dude. It's always the guy's fault. Very interesting spin. That's why I love it. Another single that you have, This Way of Life.
Mm-hmm.
So that one was very moving, and I feel like it's also very close to your heart because that's very like close to experience for you because you grew up ranching and Western way of life.
Yeah, I mean that's like the water I swam in if I was a fish. Growing up and still to this day, I mean most of my friends are either rodeo cowboys or horse trainers or ranchers. So that song it does mean a lot to me, and like really it's hard for me to judge my own material.
Sure.
That song was on Yellowstone, and that's the only reason. Season 3, episode 9. Buy it on DVD. But when it was going to be on Yellowstone, I was all nervous about it because it was just a demo recording, and I had only written it 4 or 5 days before it was on the show, and I sent it to them, and they used it like that week.
Yeah.
And I was kind of apprehensive about it because I didn't have any music out, and I was like, this is going to be my debut, and it's not even a full, but that song's done better than any of my songs.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I love about that song is like what it means to other people.
Sure.
And I've gotten to hear that because of the popularity of that show and it being on there, and like I go out and play it and people will be like I had a state trooper from Minnesota about 6 months ago. He came up to me, he's like, I listen to this song every morning before I go into work.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, he's not even a rancher or anything, but he resonates with the themes of it.
Yeah.
And there's been so many people that have, obviously a lot of farmers and ranchers that have loved that song and identified with it. But what's so cool is people that have nothing to do with that, but still connect with it somehow. It kind of shows you the power of music.
It does for sure. And what's interesting to me too, one of the biggest things about Yellowstone, maybe even Taylor Sheridan's entire catalog almost, is that people sort of like romanticize that way of life because of the way they put it in the show. And then you hear songs like that, and then you realize like it's not all ponies and rainbows. Like there's some really tough times. You have no idea what like true cowboys and true ranchers and people in agriculture actually go through. Yeah. And I think that song really like hits home for a lot of people because it makes them realize like, oh, it's not all Hollywood.
Well, yeah, and it's tough nowadays. I mean, whether it's ranching or, the horse industry is really great right now, probably because of Yellowstone. Everybody's buying horses, so my horse trainer buddies are doing really good. But no, the cattle markets are tough, and property taxes just keep getting higher no matter where you live.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think there's a lot of things stacked in the deck against like farmers and ranchers. But the thing about it is, I know this firsthand. Like, the people that love it and that do it, that are multi-generational, are never going to stop. And one of the coolest things that I've seen the last couple of years is like people moving to the country and starting a little farm, starting to ranch, getting chickens, getting goats, getting a few cows.
Yeah.
And like, I see that on social media a lot, and I just think that's so cool. I
love it. Yeah.
You got to start somewhere,
I always tell everybody that I feel like I was born in the wrong, like I'm from Indiana, but I grew up with horses, and it was always my dream to just like go off to and work on a ranch, because we went to ranches every single summer, like the guest ranches, right? It was very like, again, romanticized, but that was my dream. Like I was in barrel racing, and I was just like, you know what, I'm moving to Colorado or Montana one day, and I'm gonna just be a cowgirl. Like I don't really care about anything.
Hey, you
and
can
I'm not
still
there
do
yet.
it.
I know. I still am probably gonna do it. I love that. So your parents were both they were both master horsemen. So and they met together in Texas.
Yeah. So
and
my dad.
History. Look at that.
My dad was putting on a cutting horse show, which is, if you know anything about like quarter horses, or if you've watched Yellowstone, you've probably seen some cutting horses. Yeah. But and my dad was putting on cutting horse events, and my mom was from Montana, and she had moved down to Texas, and she was a trainer. And the first time my dad tried to holler at her, he was sitting on a tractor. He had just plowed the arena, and she walked by, and he said, dang, I'd like to take you out sometime. And she said, keep on dreaming, and walked off. So he was persistent, though. If he wasn't persistent, I wouldn't be here. So.
Yeah, well, that's true. How did he finally win her over? Did he ever tell you that story?
I think he just wore her down. I think he just kept asking. I think he just kept asking, and then finally she said yes, and then she fell for him. But they're great. I love both my parents. My dad actually passed away 3 years ago, and they were still married, and I know my mom misses him a lot, but we got a lot of great memories, and we still, the ranch that I grew up on has been in our family, and it will stay that way, and mom still lives there. So
Good.
When I'm not here in Nashville, I spend a month here and then a month back in Texas.
You go back to Texas.
And if I'm in Texas, I'm either playing a gig on the weekends, playing a little show, or helping out around the ranch with mom.
Sure. I love that. That's awesome. So you're actually like really involved in it, and I obviously love your outfit here. So people can't tell, hat, wild rag, everything.
Got my wild rag on.
Is it a Stetson?
No, this is a sombrero hat. These are made in Texas.
Nice.
I've got hair, in case anybody was wondering.
If anyone's wondering, you never know underneath the hats
these days. I copied Riley Green's hair.
Next,
I don't have the
copying
muscles,
the video.
I don't have the muscles, but I'm working on it.
No, get the mustache though.
I got it. I got the mustache.
Yeah. So, and also I think I read somewhere that your song on Yellowstone was like the most Shazammed song of like just right after. I was one of those.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I just got it on my history. I remember watching that show and was like, wow, this is a really raw song. I want to check it out.
Thank you.
That actually might have been how I found you.
I think it was.
It might have been. Yeah.
She was an early adopter on the Garrett Bradford. She was like the first person that was posting my songs and putting them on the new playlist and stuff. So that's why I was so excited when I saw you yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like,
well, thank you.
I get to be on Nikki in Nashville.
Well, I love the authentic sound. I love the country western roots. I love all that stuff, obviously. So whenever I hear music like yours, I'm just like, you know what? Yes, we're going to turn everybody onto this.
Dang right. Yes,
Dang
ma'am.
Right. Outside of your album, do you have any cool shows, tours, anything coming up in 2025?
Let's see, what do I got? I'm leaving on Saturday to go to Texas. I'm playing March 5th at the Cattleman, which is a cutting horse show in Graham, Texas. So y'all, if you're around Texas, you can come to that. I believe it's a free show if you come to the cutting horse show.
Yeah.
And the thing I'm most excited about this year is I'm playing at CMA Fest.
Are you
and
really?
I'm helping produce. So Christy over at Aristo Media, she puts on like 3 different stages. I've never been to CMA Fest, so I'm learning.
If you think this is overwhelming, wait until that. And it's dead summer, so you're just
sweating. It's going to be at Chiefs, inside in that like place that looks like a little miniature Ryman auditorium.
Little church.
And we're calling it Turn It Up Texas, and it's going to be, I don't know if this has ever been done, but it's going to be all Texas artists.
Nice.
So I'm trying to kind of help bridge the gap in what little way that I can between my friends in Texas and my friends in Nashville. And there used to be a lot of animosity in Texas towards Nashville, but I feel like that's changing. We got guys like Parker McCollum and Cole Wetzel, and even that Hudson Westbrook guy. He was here at New Faces or whatever last night.
Yesterday, yeah.
There's a lot of Texas guys that are kind of doing both, like me. They come up here for a little while and then they go back to Texas. So I'm hoping I'm really excited about that, though.
That sounds awesome. I'll definitely have to go, and I love Chiefs. Also love Eric. Haven't talked to him yet, but maybe one of these days.
Oh, I want to talk to Eric. He seems cool. I wonder if he wears his sunglasses.
Ray-Ban.
I don't know if I could handle Eric Church without the shades.
Yeah, I don't know. He definitely looks different.
Yeah.
Maybe like Riley without the mustache or what. I don't know. Anyway.
I can't even picture that.
Can't picture that either.
No,
anyway, well, I wanted to talk to you a lot about kind of your opinions on the Texas-Nashville thing, because I think in my experience, just talking to some of the artists who both kind of split time in Texas and Nashville, what your thoughts are on Texas country music in Nashville. Do Texas artists actually really need to come up here, or is it kind of depend on your goals? I'm curious what your viewpoints are.
I would think, it probably depends on your goals somewhat. I love Texas. I love playing back in Texas. It's funny, being in Nashville, it's actually, and I'm not afraid to say this, man, I think people are way more helpful towards each other here in Nashville than they are in Texas. I don't know if it's because I thought it would be more competitive. And it's not at all. And part of it that might help is because I had the Yellowstone thing on my resume, so that's probably opened a lot of doors. But even without that, I've been amazed at how quick people are to, I'm going to introduce you to so-and-so, or if they meet somebody, that works at a label, they'll introduce you to them. And not everybody in Texas is like that, honestly.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, I've had, it's funny because I've had 2 artists, I'm not even going to name them, but they were kind of my heroes, and I finally meet them in Texas and ask them, hey, can I open a show for you sometime? And one of them literally told me, oh, you're actually good, and I don't like good people to open my shows for me because I don't want to be outshined. And I was like, I appreciate the honesty. It's like the backhanded compliment.
Right.
I was like, but it's an interesting thing, and that's one of the reasons that I came up here. I started coming up here after my Yellowstone thing. I got to come play Whiskey Jam. Was my first trip here,
that was so cool. Whiskey Jam, gotta love a Whiskey Jam.
And people were so nice. I just expected to come up here and kind of see the sights, and people were just so nice. And I met so many people that wanted to co-ride. And I love co-riding. I love to ride. I love the idea of riding for other people. I love co-riding. And there's just not as many riders. There's a ton of riders in Texas, but it's such a big state, they're all spread out. So it's kind of cool to come here and everybody's 10, 20, 30 minutes away.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I feel like Texas is like its own animal with a music market, and it's so different. It's because you have country music, you have Texas country music. They have their own charts. Artists who probably wouldn't get radio airplay here would massively get radio airplay in Texas. And it's so interesting, here, you not necessarily a smaller fish, but just if you want to stay a big fish in a smaller pond or just your own market.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you're right, they stay in Texas and they just do the Texas market, they just 100%. Do the honky tonks, they just travel, do Texas charting. And then here, if they come here, then it's almost it's a different competition.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is 2 different things. I think you're absolutely right about that. And there's obviously exceptions to the rule, in the TikTok age, some people just blow up and become famous everywhere all at once. But I think you're right about if you want to be a big Texas artist, you really got to be committed to working that circuit, and it is a whole different group of people.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. Big Loud has Big Loud Texas now.
Okay. Is that
which is
Lambert?
Miranda and John Randall are running that, and I don't know Miranda yet. I met her a couple of times, but I know John Randall really well. And they just signed one of my really good friends, my friend Juliana Rankin, who's unbelievably talented. Look her up, Juliana Rankin. And they just signed her, and they've got a few other artists. So I'm kind of excited to see like what becomes of that, because they've obviously got tons of Nashville ties, but they're signing Texas artists, and they're like the people that were working at the label are definitely Texas music people.
Sure.
A lot of them. So
I love that.
I think that'll be an interesting experiment to see like what they can do in both markets. You know?
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on what happens there. That's really cool. I didn't know that, so thank you for telling me.
Yeah.
Who are some of your inspirations? Who are some of your favorite artists?
Well, I would say a lot of like cowboy music when I was growing up, and like especially in my formative years. There's a guy named Red Steagall, Dan Roberts. Both of those guys, I got to open up for those guys in Texas when I was 17, 18 years old. So like they made a huge impact on me and taught me not just about music, but about connecting with an audience, being honest, wearing your heart on your sleeve, telling stories and that kind of thing, which I think is probably taken me just as far as my music has. Like I feel like I get feedback almost on my stories and my stage presence. People remark on that just as much as they do about my music. Yeah. And I think it's something that's kind of you see it in Nashville at the writers' rounds, but I feel like it's kind of lost a little bit. I mean, a lot of artists, you go to their shows and it just depends on the person you're asking, because I love when they talk.
Yeah, I do too.
And a lot of people are like, "Shut up and play the song." You can go listen to it on the stories
behind it. Yeah.
Right, you can listen to it on Spotify. Like, I want to hear it live, and I want to get to know this person a little bit. So
it's true. And sometimes some of the stories behind the songs are like way different than the meaning you yourself have like contrived from the lyrics, which is so interesting. And I have my own opinions, obviously, about why that is. Like, social media has so changed the game. Yeah. I think a lot of people are just like, we can market this person, but we don't know their stage presence. We don't know if they can even play at all. And regardless of if, they're a great songwriter, a good artist, it takes a long time, I think, to hone that stage presence. And a lot of them don't have mentors, like you said, that you did, like teaching you how to be on stage, in that live performance.
And where are you going to learn that? I think thankfully, I guess it would be cool, but like I can't imagine when I was 19, 20 years old if I had one song blow up on TikTok and then I had a record label and then I was out on the road opening up for some big artist at stadium tours. While people are still getting there. Like, it's not your crowd. Like, that's tough to learn how to work a crowd. Like, it's way better, in my opinion, to start out playing flea markets and county fairs and rodeos and honky tonks, and then you start learning, this gets people's attention. And
kind of grassroots approach, I guess.
I think there's a lot of benefits to that. And like, I'm really thankful that there was times I wish things were happening faster, and I still do sometimes, but I also know that, like, I'm proud of the journey that I've taken to get here. I'm thankful for it, and I think I'm prepared for whatever because of that, and the experience that comes with it.
Yeah, that's a great optimistic answer.
Yes,
I love
ma'am.
That. Well, I can't wait to see you out on any of your shows. If I can make it to anywhere that you're going, 100% I'll be at CMA Fest, but maybe I'll get somewhere in between there.
You live here, right? Around
I
Nashville?
do, yeah, about half hour away, so I'm close.
When I'm playing, like, next time I got around or something, I'll shoot you a message.
Let me
know. Come out.
That'd be awesome.
Friends or whatever, that'd be awesome.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I love going to shows. I haven't been to as many lately since I moved like 30 minutes away, but I'm still gonna.
I'm out in Fairview, so I'm like 40 minutes away.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm in the Dixon area, so it's kind of like.
We probably ain't too far from each other then.
Yeah, we're right off. That's hilarious. That's like my exit. You go right, I go left. Okay, now I'm thinking about it.
Fairview exit?
Yeah.
Oh, we probably live super close.
Now we're neighbors.
Yeah, apparently we're neighbors.
Pop quiz, last question. You're stranded on a desert island. You can only take one country album with you. What would it be?
I would say Chris Knight, who's a Texas artist. Absolutely one of my favorites. Trying to remember, I think it's called Framed. I think that's what that album is called.
Yeah.
I'm the worst with the album names. I know the songs and all that and the artists, but man, I love Chris Knight. He's so good. His Murder Ballads and love songs. He's just got so much grit in his music, and I love that. It just sounds like he's singing straight from his heart.
That's a good answer. I love that answer. I always say it's a pop quiz. It's not a pop quiz. It's your own opinion. It's just like,
I like pop quiz.
Pop quiz. All right, guys, make sure you go stream, check out, buy new album tomorrow.
Yeah.
Pre-save is ready now?
Yep, pre-save now.
Ready now.
Hey, and it's one of the top 20, I can't believe it, most pre-saved albums on iTunes in England.
In England.
Of all places. So
That's amazing.
I might be moving to Britain. I've been practicing my accent.
You're going to go across the pond.
I'm going to go across the pond.
Okay. Thanks so much. Thank you, Garrett.
Thank you,
Make sure
Nikki.
you follow him, listen to his music. Yeah, and we'll see you around.